Happy Saturday, everybody. Wait, let me get over here to the comments. Happy Saturday. Hey, Maisha. How's everybody doing? I'm talking to y'all.
Oh, good.
Because you said you was in the comments.
Right.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna give them a little time. I'm doing all right. I can't complain.
I'm just happy it's Saturday. It's nobody to be picked up, dropped off. It's
Yes.
You know what? I'm past them days. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Mo, how you doing?
I'm doing good. No complaints. No complaints over this way.
I can't say Mo is quite there yet. She still do pick up and drop off, even though they grown.
But it won't be for a bit. They all at college, but my youngest one, he's trying to stay overnight. I said, talk to your dad. Talk to your dad.
I ain't doing that running.
I know that's right.
They're gonna be back next weekend, so I know I'm gonna have to wind up taking one of them back. But I have no complaints. No complaints.
Good. Welcome everybody. We are here to talk about Jesus Christ. Meraux Mafia, No Ordinary Love by Miss Kaylyn. Girl, you took us through it, boy.
Listen, they took me, so I had to listen. It almost did not come to be. They almost got put on the shelf.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
no.
They stressed me like no other.
Yes. Who got on the hat? Me? Yeah. Yeah, that's my time I got on the hat. I know. Child, if you saw this dude under here, they not used to that.
That's why I said that earlier. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, me and Dakota, we rocking these hats today.
We here.
Yes. So let me just tell y'all, I don't really do spoiler rooms. They know I don't do spoiler rooms. But when I got into this book, I was like, we need a spoiler room. They was like, yes, yes, we do. And so because I don't like to hear, I stay away from them. When they invite me to them, wherever she book is right, I be like, nope, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. So but we had to have one. And I was dropping little stuff in there too. So I was like, and I said, we're gonna have a chat, y'all. Then I said, let me reach out. Let me tell you how goofy I am, because I know it's a lot of people on my friends list. I'm telling y'all. I looked Kaylyn up and I said, oh, she on my friend list. I don't have to feel retarded about sneaking in her DMs and saying, girl, do you mind coming to do,
And she said that too. She was like, "Now I don't feel so bad," but I'm super friendly. Like my readers know, like they'll jump in my inbox. Like as long as everybody's like respectful and stuff. Like we'll talk, we'll kick it. It's okay.
Yeah. My tag, Ayana, because you know how she gets. She get to hollering. We forgot about her. Please tag Ayana. So let's jump right into this, Miss Kaylyn. You said this story almost didn't make it, almost got put on the shelf. Mm-hmm. They took you through it.
It did. It did. I worked on this book. I started that book in September. And it did not come out until the 13th, I think, of January.
Girl.
But it's lengthy though. It's a lengthy book. And you were given like 2 and 3 love stories in one book. That's amazing.
I don't think it was the length. I'm typically I like it slow. I'm a slow build kind of gal. But they, very beginning, just jumping out. And I was like,
that wasn't slow build.
No, not at all.
And I'm big on like the chemistry and the character development. And I just wanted it to come together in a certain way. And because it was a faster pace, I was just like really in my head, like, okay, is this coming together the way that I wanted it to. And then originally the cousins weren't supposed to have their own chapters. And then they did, well, no, originally they were. And then I was like, no, I'm going to just focus on Gianni and Halo. And then they were like, yeah, no, ma'am. Actually, we want to be a part of the story. So it was a lot. And I almost was like, it's taking me forever. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe I just need to put it up and do something else. But we made it.
Well, let me just tell you, I liked well, no, let me not tell that lie. Because
don't do him like that.
Everybody, I know everybody hated Tyson because everybody's like, this fuck nigga, what in the world?
I called him.
Somebody get his baby a hug.
No,
yeah,
I wanted to hug him. The entire female dog.
I wanted to hug him. Just come on. Like, I wanted to hug him.
And let me tell you what I've noticed. I've seen a couple people, even my coworker, she told me yesterday, she was like, I don't like Halo. And I was like, girl, I pushed you down these steps. What you mean?
My editor dragged her. And I was just like,
I went through a moment. And then, I did. But then I gave her grace because I was like, wait a minute. This girl just went through a traumatic experience. She was just going to turn up one night. And then, like, even, as the story went on, it's just like, I at first I was like, damn, girl, because, it was heat. G is just giving everything, right? Yeah. But then when you think of it, sometimes I'm not ready for everything right now. So as amazing as he was, I realized I was like, no, she don't want to be with nobody. It's not about you. And so I had to make it back because at first I was like, girl, be nice to him. Like, he loves you. His family, his daddy is sorry. Like, why is you? But I realized,
but you know what? You can't kidnap me.
That's what I said. She deserves.
And then turn around and be like, but you're gonna be part of the family, so we're gonna forgive and forget. Nah, wait.
I'm not a forgiving person in real life, so it would have been up and stuck with the daddy.
But I don't understand. People in the comments, I don't know why people didn't like Halo either. I don't know what. Somebody said something about her issues with her dad. I'm like, but why? She have every right to feel the way she feel. I mean, exactly. He had a whole family. Even though her mother was like, I knew what I was doing. I take responsibility for, and I love that she took responsibility for her actions. Mm-hmm. But you had a whole family. You kept me a secret. And I'm supposed to just be like, I'm cool with that? Nah.
And to be honest with that and fair on the dad part, she was fine. With the daddy issues didn't really surface until she then moved and now he's here. Mm-hmm. So that to me felt realistic because now you're kind of forced to, it's different when you popping in and out, like I don't really have to deal with you, but now you're working with my husband and these things and I'm forced to kind of be around you. That can, drudge up things that maybe you thought weren't a thing anymore.
Okay, so I have a question. Where did this concept come of this old school tradition, you get somebody pregnant, you're going to marry them, and we out here just having sex with we know that was a fluke, a misstep for Gianni.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Okay, but even like with Tyson's parents, that's how they ended up together. And I'm gonna tell you that now. That's who you should hate on, because his mama will make you want to just punch her in the mouth.
One and two, they were just they were quite the pair,
right? But where did this story come from? Where did you get that idea from?
So I wanted to do an arranged marriage, and I had done one kind of in the past before, but I feel like I've grown a lot as an author, so I wanted to do it again, because I felt like I could do it better in a sense. Okay. So I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do the usual Mafia style of. I just wanted to kind of put a twist on it and make it a little. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
When you said traditional, I was like somebody daddy owing somebody money.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of. I was like, okay, I want to do this, but I want to make it different in a sense. So I think I was on Twitter and I was going down this deep dive of a thread about the royal family and how they kind of treated Princess Diana and all this stuff. And it just kind of clicked to me. I was like, oh, I can do. So they were kind of supposed to be like a play on the royal family in a sense. Okay. These people, because they were in charge and they ran the city and that kind of thing. So it was kind of like a play on the royal family. and just kind of took bits and pieces and created this fictional city with these rules that everybody just had to abide by.
I liked all the characters with the exception of Tyson and then his mama and daddy, of course. And then when Tyson was making these side deals, I was like, my heart, I was like, oh, this
Yes.
ninja right here.
Gonna go well.
What are you doing? Like, how you? I can't even.
So many times I thought he was gonna kill somebody. Like in my notes, I was like, "Oh shit, he gonna kill Mac." Like especially when Lucas told him, like, "Yeah, like they, they looking who should be the next up," and then they were like Mac, and he was like, and I was like, "Oh my god, no, no," because Mac is giving like, please don't do this. So to see his transition though, and then when it came out that like he had daddy issues, like it's like everything for the family, and it was like a blessing and a curse because it's like they were tight knit, like regardless of the things, like they were a dope ass family. But it was like I could see like Tyson's resentment because even him going to jail and everything that happened, it's like because I did it for the family, and it's like what about me? And it seems selfish.
That was a plot
it's
twist.
human nature.
Yeah, it is though. And then all the things that they were dealing with at home, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't like they were getting loved and poured into at home. So that he ultimately had no reason to have these resentful feelings. Like they was jacked, like the family was cool, but when everybody went home, like they were in hell and y'all was chilling.
We saw how his parents were.
Yeah, so
and for me, the as Josh said, the plot twist with Tyson and his father, that was more than taking the fall for family. This is your father that he had really no choice to say no, I can't do that. They pushed him to do. The father did, and it surprised me that Gianni nor Mac knew the full story. They just looked at him as wilding out. But that said a lot about Tyson. I still don't like him, but it did say a lot about him, even at that young age, to take that hit for his father.
I think he just wanted that love. You know, it's weird because it's just like the abusive parent in a sense, even though it wasn't abuse, but you crave that. So even though they hurt you and do things, you keep going back into it. So he should have, and he had that moment of reflection where he's like, maybe I should have said something, but it was my dad. Like, what was I supposed to do? So I love Tyson. I shouldn't, but
I'm telling you, I am a lover of the
Black
when it comes to it. So I'm telling you, by the end, I was like, okay, like especially with him and Kiera, like they had their moment, and it was just like, especially because he just did not want to be like his parents.
I know.
So like for them to come around, like even though the dynamic was so shaky, again, I love black sheeps. I love the people and the characters that are not usually spotlighted or not given like a love story or happily ever after. So when he came around, I was literally clapping. Like when he went and he apologized, I was like, you better grow up. It's that character development. Like, baby, character development. And it wasn't like rapid, like it was slow. Like he kind of came to realizations like off and on. And he kind of eased into it. And he wasn't like sappy about it. And that's why I loved the character development because it was still like true to himself. Like even when G said something smart, he like, you know what? Normally I say something, but I'm gonna let him rock today. Like I'm gonna let him rock today.
You had it.
I love that.
Okay, so Miss Kiera was for the streets. I don't care how you flip it, how you twist it, like
for the streets.
Like I'm having such a hard time showing her grace.
She don't get none. Because, and that's for me. Everybody's like Tyson this. I'm like, how can y'all keep mentioning him without her? Because
she was with Tyson first, and then you got with Gianni, but you didn't say nothing to him. Like I used to mess with your aunt, your cousin, and then I
like
come
in
back.
A big deal. Like I was her first. Like it was the whole thing. Like it wasn't just no. Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, come on, baby girl.
Let me tell y'all something. I got flagged. I have never been threatened with going to Facebook jail before. So in the
Score
group,
off.
in the spoiler page, under my personal page, I said if she call Halo a bitch one more time, I'm gonna jump in this book and whip her ass. And I put AZZ. Do you know I got a warning? Like, I think it's a book. Like, you really.
They didn't know.
Nah, that was like
they real. They think they real too.
yeah. When she kept calling her a bitch, I was like, you trifling hoe, you the one running around here doing down cousins and
not saying a word. I was the first one to call her out. I'm like, she a gold digger. Because in the beginning, she a gold digger. Because in the beginning, she left him. She just up and left and moved away. And then she wants to come back and get back in good with him, knowing she had this history with Tyson and didn't say a word. I'm like, so what, you want to go to the family?
And like you said, she left, but she even left Gianni. She left.
That's what I'm talking about. She left Gianni.
She wasn't loyal to nobody but herself.
Right.
Right.
And y'all hate Halo. Get out of here.
No. Listen, they need to leave. I cried over somebody eating my strawberry. Oh, okay. No. Shut the door. I'm working. Hey, stop it.
Right. It was even worse because it was a whole relationship. It's not like she slept with Tyson once. Yeah, like she was in a whole relationship. From if I remember correctly, he was her first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl.
He was doing everything. But yeah, Halo deserves some grace. I cried over somebody eat my fruit while I was pregnant. So imagine you being pregnant, you gotta move, your whole life is
I start internalizing it.
But even with Halo,
this ain't cool.
Because when the first scene happened and the wedding didn't go forth and it moved forward, I'm like, man, I said, she really taking this hard. But as we get through the story and realize, I said she had every right to be depressed as long as she was.
Yeah,
they was together how long?
It was a long time.
Can you imagine being with somebody that long and then find that out?
Together for years, and he was like, he just seemed like a stand-up dude.
Right, like, bruh, be who you are. Don't play with my life like that. You play with my life.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
I ain't gonna lie though, I did think it was gonna be one of her friends that he was kissing. I was like, I kept scrolling like, I know it's that now B. But then I loved that it wasn't like the dynamics, the friendships, even though like, there was drama, like the relationships between her and her friends, even the relationship between Soul and G, like I loved, like it wasn't just oversaturated with drama between people who love each other, like their friendships, and then even the growth of her, like she moved, but her girls came to see her, she had family there. It felt very family oriented, even though like that's why G kept saying like she got the support. I don't know if she gonna take it, but it's there for her. So patience.
Yes, my girl went through a lot.
It's hard to say who is my favorite, but Mac is the man.
Mac.
I loved him.
Mac is the man.
God,
it's already been noted. Mac can get it.
I loved him.
Oh my goodness. And I was thinking about him today. He was just the person. He was just the person to sort of like nudge the family to acceptance. Like enough of this tradition bull. He was steadfast. He knew what he wanted, and he didn't care what anybody had to say about it when it came to Sky and Kim.
No, we all understand mommy duty on the side, so we good.
Oh yeah.
Mo, can you believe Devin finished a 500-page book? Devin read it. I have to come for it. Yes. Devin read. Woo.
Okay.
No problem. No worries. We understand.
I forgot where we were.
We're talking about
Mac.
I loved him. He was, I feel like, because he was the person who never really complained. He didn't ask for much, you know what I mean? Like he was the one who had to kind of do that, to be the one. Cause he's like, listen, we here. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
And it is what it is.
He tried to resist, but he just could not resist all that sassiness. I love that. I loved her sassiness. You know, I loved her insecurity. Nah, man, when he pulled up on homeboy, how you just take my baby? And how you just give and then say, what, that's her daddy? No, we don't do
Really,
And
Billy.
you my sister, you know
we got
all the tea.
phones. Like,
Like,
can
and
you call
nobody
me and
else know.
say
You know.
Like, why would you just
Yeah.
give him my baby? Like,
right?
what? Yeah, she probably, in hindsight, she probably should have beat that sister up because well, you gave this man my whole baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what's wrong with you?
And he chilling like wasn't nothing gonna happen. Like, you really thought you was gonna get away with that? And she with Mac? She with a Meraux, bro? Sir,
He
please
sent
and
her
thank
on to
you.
the go ahead to the car. I'm gonna go ahead.
He said,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
go
come
ahead
here,
to
come
the
here. Let me
car.
talk to you. Let me holler at you." And she
I
said,
ain't we not about to do all this. Just go ahead, take the baby to the car.
mm-hmm.
And even I thought it was sweet though before they even left, and she's going off because as a parent you're worried like this is my kid, and she's going off, and he is just as calm as he like it's my fault. We gonna figure it out, and she just like
Yeah, he never like let his like who he was or his family's name or anything make him feel like entitled even to like respect like
yeah.
you said in that moment like he just and she even said it. I remember she said it like, you know, I thought he would go off because I'm going off, but
Yeah, and
he was chill about it, and
it's
I was
my
like,
fault, and we
okay.
gonna figure it out, and they figured it out. I was like,
I loved his mother. I mean,
Yes.
his parents were like, you know the rules, but
we
Bring
know
my
our
step
son.
granddaughter over here though.
right, like bring her on. And when she got shot, I know he was like, oh, I wish y'all would. I
Oh,
wish
that's
y'all
off.
would tell me
I
I can't
dropped
have
the book.
this.
Okay, I dropped my phone, especially when I read. I just kept reading over like her lifeless body, her lifeless body. Like, no, no. I was like, I know this is a lie. And then it just kept
Yeah.
I was like, And then, but I was like, okay, because I overthink. I'm like, okay, maybe he's still gonna take Cam and he's gonna raise her, and like that's gonna be his baby because he's not leaving Cam. Like, I don't give a damn who
Oh,
daddy.
Cam ain't letting him leave.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
that ain't
Cam ain't
happening.
letting him go.
nope,
I was so
nope.
happy she survived though and she made it. But I was like, oh, don't do this to me. We've come too far.
Pissed.
I felt.
And I thought it was really sweet that after he went, well, first of all, I thought it was funny because he cussed everybody out in the waiting room, and then Gianni comes, and he's like, "Don't listen, now ain't it? Don't come over here with it." But it was Halo, and he's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell her that you're not coming, so you don't want to talk to her. You tell her yourself." Because he's like, I ain't getting in that." But
Love
I
after
love
he
Halo and Max,
yes,
friendship and
Yeah.
bond and all of that too.
yeah, they were cute. I love them together, and I
Gianni
thought,
kept talking about, wait a minute, but that's my wife. He said, and that's my
Right.
friend.
right, listening
the
to that,
fact
you
that they
got
had
going on
secrets, the fact that they had, he like about me, he like it has nothing to do with you.
nothing.
Don't worry about you.
That's
I'm
my
like,
friend.
Right,
oh, I love
everything is
them.
not about you. Like, please,
At
mind
all.
your business. But after he came out of the room and his dad was still there, I thought that was very important because men do need support. And even though he didn't necessarily agree, because rules are rules, as he stepped outside of that to be a father in that moment to his
He
son.
did the opposite of his brother with Tyson.
Yeah.
Like literally, we saw the opposite happen. And I
Yeah.
think that could be why Tyson didn't say anything about Kiera, because everything is like for the family, for the family, for the family. And even though him and G had their stuff, it's like that's his girl now. So I don't think he would have said anything, like ever said anything about being with her.
Because, and for better or worse, he was loyal to his family, though. He ain't like them all the time and agree. And he did some questionable things, but he was loyal. And I think that if it came down to it, I don't think he would have ever done anything to intentionally harm them. Now, he did some questionable stuff that could have potentially,
Selfish.
but just outright put them in harm's way or hurt them. He just wouldn't have done that, but not realizing.
I really thought it was Halo's brother who, did the drive-by. I was like, ooh, you about to die. They about to already in hot water with them. They about to drag you. They come find out it's somebody else because of Tyson's daddy. I was like, get him. Somebody
him out.
in the foot, in the leg, something. Get
Like, he needs to go sit down,
him.
find some business.
Him
Right.
and his wife.
Right.
One thing I did notice is that Gianni's father, Ross, and even Mac's father, and so I'm not going to mention Lucas, how their demeanor and how they looked at the whole situation with them being involved with these women, how it softened towards the end because they saw that they were not budging. Ross wasn't crazy about the situation, but he had to accept it.
Right.
And I think he was tolerating her more so than anything. But when he saw how Gianni really interacted with her and how he was giving it his all for this relationship, he kind of softened toward her. Halo wasn't having it. She was like, I don't care what you say to me. I don't care how many times you apologize. She was like middle finger in the air. I'm focused on my husband. And even the same thing as you said, that Everett had stepped out of being the Meraux brother and wanted to be a father to his son because he saw just how moved he was. And it took these women coming into their lives to really shake things up and change their focus on how they were thinking and looking at things when it came to their family.
And I think it's a generational thing too, though. And just in regular life, like when you look at, like millennials, as they call it, compared to like the way, their parents or grandparents did things, they just kind of, that's the way it's always been done. So we're going to do it. And then millennials come and we're breaking the mold. We ain't doing those things no more. So I think that, that kind of plays out in everyday life too. Get who pregnant on purpose? Tyson?
I hope to God not.
And listen, I battled to the very last second. I wrote the epilogue so late because I was so I did not want to punish him like that because I just felt so bad because I'm like, this is literally the one thing he didn't want to happen.
Halo. They said that.
Oh no, Halo, no, they was just living. They had a time that night. They had been drinking, kikiing and smiling in the club. Listen, they was in the moment. They was feeling each other, and it just, he didn't do it on purpose.
No, and then somebody, I don't know if I saw somebody said why she didn't go and tell him, but it's sometimes I feel like, did we read the same book? Did y'all miss the point where
Girl's name was G?
Any information she didn't know?
No, G. How am I find a G?
Right.
Could have tried, but who doing that? Like, listen, I'm gonna just accept my fate. I got nothing.
I get it to a certain extent, but I'm about to go on no scavenger hunt. Like,
my mama got me, and we gonna figure this out. My mama and my girls got me. We just gonna work it out.
Right. She stuffed it up. She said it was supposed to be a night of no questions, no answers, one night, and that's it.
You're right, Joanne. Right. Let me just Google G.
Right. what you think gonna pop up?
Google.
But that Tyson, I was like, ugh. I was so torn because I didn't want to do. I just felt like Tyson had really been through a lot, so I'm like, man. But he had also done a lot, and I just felt like he couldn't get off unscathed. Like,
I did kind of feel bad for Kiera at the end. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I don't know why. I don't know if you feel bad, but I just felt like.
Did you feel bad because she got thumped in the head finally?
Yes.
Is that why you were feeling bad for her?
I think I just felt bad just as like a woman that just feels very disconnected in a situation. And I think that although I do agree that she was a gold digger, I think that she had gold digger tendencies. Like when she first found out about Halo, she still snatched the money from G. How are you distraught about your man and he tried to hand you some bread and you snatched the money? Now,
and go shopping. I
ain't been in that situation where somebody's trying to hand me some bands, right? I ain't been there, so I don't know. But I don't think she got pregnant on purpose, right? And I think that even her, like
she came back more than one time. She came back more than one time.
But she came back for G. No. I'm
talking about with Tyson. She got on top of that stick more than one time with no
She
condom.
did. She
Okay.
did. But I don't know. I just felt like
I
I don't
do
know.
agree
Just
with that
let
take.
me say it like this: just like Halo and G had like a very like quick moment, like not intentional, like. And although I do agree, people hurt people, right?
Yep.
So she was in a space where she was hurt, she was messed up. And although Tyson was connected to G, Tyson is her first, right? And she's coming back, and so I just kind of look at all of those things. And even at the end, although I do agree she was foul for not saying anything, I like genuinely don't think that she was trying to get pregnant, and she was just trying to make the best out of her situation, just like the other couples. Well, just like G and Halo. And Tyson just had this like attitude, like, right, I'm not either, but I'm popping the bread, but I ain't going shopping. But I don't know, Tyson just had this attitude like he was mad at her, like as if she hadn't played a part. Like they had both played a part in that.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was giving her the cold shoulder and like she was trying, it was just kind of like.
But when she kept saying, "I don't know what I'm gonna do," girl, you know, you ain't getting ready to leave this family because you want to be part of this family and this
Exactly.
money and this legacy, and
And
I don't
didn't
know.
she? And
Yeah,
didn't
but I
she
think that if she
slap?
has to choose, I still don't think that it. I don't know. Even like at the end when she said like if I would have knew it was going to be all of this, like then maybe I wouldn't have had my baby. So it was like yeah, she was wrong. She wanted G, but it was almost like she was trying to come to a point of like okay, taking accountability,
Right. Yeah.
accountability. And he was just like not feeling it. But then again, we're all human, and what Mac told her was real. Like told Tyson was real. Like she's just using you to be a part of what we doing. Again,
Yeah.
that's not right. But I mean, I done been in some situations where I ain't always did the right things either.
Right.
So like when I look at it from that perspective, I'm like, y'all got to make it work. Especially when Tyson keeps saying he don't want to be like his parents, and like that's exactly what it was turning into. So it's like you saying
Yeah.
that's not what you want, you're not willing to call a play like Mac and say, I'm not conforming, I'm not doing this. So it's like, what we doing?
It's you got to suck it up.
Yeah.
I think that Tyson was a place of comfort because like he was her first, and I think that she cared about him in a way. But I think that she was truly in love with Gianni. So I think
I
him now, she's thinking, okay, we're about to really do this. The second time is going to be the charm. And then in the blink of an eye, this life, that they were on the same page with essentially is now snatched away. That hurt. And I think she just went back to this place of comfort, and he was there. And he was a willing participant too.
Yeah, he was a willing participant
So
until
they
he
just
realized.
yeah.
Until he realized, and she said out of her own mouth, "I just want to forget about him."
And he
And
like, wait a minute.
that's when the light bulb when he was like, "Oh, so that's what we're doing."
But
And
I feel like Tyson knew that though. I don't feel. I
but
feel. I
it's
don't
one
feel like
thing.
she
It's
had
one thing
say
to
it.
know it, but she actually said it out of her mouth
To your face, like
to your face in the act of y'all about to have. I mean,
Was
she
it the
was
fact that she
straddling
was
him.
thinking about him? Is it that? Is it the
No,
fact that
she
she
said
was
it. She
thinking about
actually
him?
said
no,
it.
she
No,
did.
no,
She
no. I
said,
know that, but what part of it is like damn? Because I've seen movies and I've read stuff where people are intimate and like I just want to forget everything. I want to forget what I want to forget that nigga. I mean, ultimately that's what Halo was doing, although she didn't say it. And like I mean, G saw it because I mean the first night they met, Marcel was following her around the spot. So essentially, they were
yeah,
doing the same thing. Let's role play. I want to feel this for tonight. I want to forget about him. They did the same thing,
yeah.
but it was his cousin, so it was
But
like,
I
let's
think
go.
maybe he had, sometimes you can play mind games with yourself to make yourself believe it's something else. But then when
He
he hears her
knew.
say it, it's like,
It's
Yeah.
different.
yeah,
It's
like because you
different.
get maybe it's a chance, it's not. But then when she says it, all that's out the window because now this is where we are. And he
Okay, hold,
couldn't.
Ayana, somebody did tag you. I saw it, but I also asked Maya to tag you, so I'm sorry you're
Uh-oh.
late. Um, sorry, Ayana. But I did ask somebody to tag you. Okay, and so here's a question: if she really loved G, why did she leave?
Well, I think that being with the Meraux in that city, I think it's a lot, and everybody can't handle that. And he kind of hinted towards that in an earlier conversation with Solana. you know, like she's kind of always been kind of flaky, like, you know, certain things bothered her, you know, like the attention that he got in women, and despite him not looking for them, they're still looking at him. And I think that it was a lot for her, and she was trying to kind of maybe find herself because they were younger at that point. And then you kind of learn and grow and realize, like, okay, like this is really, you know, what I want. Or maybe she thought she wanted her. I don't know if Kiera really knew, because she was all over.
She was all over the place. I'm leaving. I'm coming back. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was because he was like when he was at the school.
Let me finish. Stop it. Shut the door.
When he was at the school, and you know, they were talking, and he kind of indicated like, you know, you left, so you know, I'm not. Basically, I felt like he was like, I'm not gonna fool with you because you don't know what you want. And then
he didn't seem to mind
walking
though.
the mall, huh?
I said he didn't really seem to mind.
Right. So I mean, I felt like he could take it or leave it. Like so, but then he walk in the mall and they like, and he running the Halo.
You took away exactly what I was about to say. I'm like,
I don't think the marriage was going. I mean, they would have had to set him together because they got married, but he wasn't gonna be in love with her the way he ended up being in love with Halo.
Yeah. There was actually a deleted scene that didn't make the cut where they were supposed to go ring shopping, and the jeweler was gonna bring, like, oh, are we here to finish working on what we started? And it was actually going to be a ring for Kiera. And then now Halo looking stupid, and they were supposed to have this whole big blowout, but that scene didn't make the cut.
So, thank God, because child, like, no.
Yeah, he's kind of looking at the jeweler like, no, be quiet. Like, hey, wait a minute, you spilling. So Halo's now pissed, like you were going to marry her, and it was just going to be a thing, but it didn't happen.
Well, I
feel the same way. I'm trying to get all of it. I think these, let's see, let me go back up here with the burst the bubble that he was in with her. I think that was for Tyson.
With Tyson and Kiera. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. I don't know what's not true. I can't remember. I don't know what was not true. And then Kiera was so insecure. She had nothing on. Because I'm like you. I love when Halo reached around and thumped her. Like, I done had enough of you. Like, enough is enough.
I had a fit when it said she thumped her on the forehead. I said, this like that's some little kid shit. Like, bitch, get in your place. Like,
I kept reading. I said, please let Nye and Denim show up.
I thought Denim was so
do my sister solid because
Yeah.
she was pregnant. I said, I just need the girls to roll into town one good time for me. Just one good time.
She needed it because it's like, listen, I'm gonna try to be cordial for the sake, but now you talk about keep my man out your mouth because now be quiet.
And we're not even that cool for you to be insinuating. Just be happy that we can sit in the same room.
Absolutely.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, but girl, shut up. Stop talking to me.
And mind your own situation. Don't worry about what I'm keeping from my husband.
And that goes back to somebody saying that how insecure she was. Like, even at the table, like, you have your own man. You can't even hide it. That was something about her. She could never hide it. She always showed her hand.
Yes, we did talk about it in a post. We sure did. Because, like, girl, she should have did more than that. And then I laughed when Gianni was like, you out here hitting folks and you pregnant. What is wrong with you?
Listen, because that's all he cared about was that baby. Like, now you playing.
Right.
But she spent most of the book pregnant. So I was like, man, what am I do? Because she do need to get hit. But she been knocked up. Like, so I had to just kind of let her, subtly get it off in the end.
Yeah, we talked about whose Paul we talking about, Yana. We talked about all the Pauls. We talked about Ross. We talked about
Ross and Lucas.
Daddy. Like I said, I don't know if I could have forgave. It was gonna take a minute for me to forgive Ross. Nigga, you done kidnapped me, dragged me out of here.
The play devil's advocate, he ain't hurt her and like throw her in a dungeon. She was.
But his whole attitude when he walked up in there, he said, let's go. And she was like, I'm not going nowhere. He said, I suggest. The way he just carried himself with her and then had her locked up. Man, I know Gianni wanted to take his head off.
I love that though. I like
when he realized where she was, he was like,
Yeah, y'all got me twisted in here. I'm about to go off on
Right. And
everybody.
Tyson standing there like, it ain't no big deal, bro. Like it is.
And he like, I've been calling you
what?
all week, asking you where she at. I'm been telling y'all I've been tripping. He like, well, I had to do it. See, but that goes back to it with Tyson. Yep. It's all about the family.
Because even in a conversation with Matt, he's like, he
knew
like,
his
would
father.
You do like, that's why my father called him and not you, because you would have called me.
Yeah, he like,
he didn't.
He's like, he just
Matt like, you know what? You got a point.
Yep. Well, that's
Mac didn't even know what was going on
because they knew. You know, you pick certain people for certain tasks. Mac wouldn't have done that. That just wasn't who he was. He would not have went for it. He would not have been a part of it, or he would have told Gianni straight up. Tyson, he just gonna do what he told. Like, well, this is what we gotta do. Okay,
you need to get that top spot. That's what it was. Like if I do everything I'm told, I'm gonna have that top spot. But then on the flip side, you're doing side deals, putting the family in jeopardy. On top of that, that ain't smart either.
He just wanted to do what he wanted to do at all costs and couldn't see the bigger picture at times. I think he just wanted something so bad, like something for himself, something that was his. And you just making these moves and decisions, and it's like, sir, no. What are you doing?
Okay. Somebody said it's Soul in her own book. I'm sorry, I just want to know too. So
I was getting to that because I've seen people asking,
sorry,
was there going to be a sequel? Are we getting more? And then I saw this video that Kaylyn made where she said no, and I was like this. I'm just gonna scroll because I don't even want to hear.
I don't need this negativity today. At some point they'll probably get an update like Christmas, Valentine's. Okay. I'll do something at some point, but as her getting her, I don't know if I want to deal with her for a whole book.
Yeah.
Give her an update because I'm sorry. I'm like, if this girl don't stop whining, she older than all of them, and it just seemed like okay.
When I learned she was 28, I was shocked.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, the situation. You know it's not going to change. Then you need to change. But she just like she complained about everything. I don't want to go to this party because then I got to take you in. So, and it was always something. I'm like, girl.
Well, to her the credit though, it's different for them as men, and she's literally the only girl. So it's not like she had any companionship. G was it, but still, he was still allowed to do things that she couldn't do.
So she needed to change the game.
She should have, but that ain't her either. That wasn't her, her personality to do that. So she was very bored. She got a little better once the girls kind of, because she had some kind of companionship. She had Kiara, but she didn't even really have her in the end because that friendship wasn't what Solana thought it was. Like my best friend, like no, because she got hella secrets that you don't even know what's going on.
That just became your homegirl because she was dating your cousin.
Yeah, she was with her brother and didn't even know it. And y'all best friend.
She didn't have no idea. So I mean, I kind of felt for Solana in a way that she was bored. She didn't have a good relationship with her mom. I mean, so she really didn't have. She was like on this island by herself and couldn't do much of anything unless they said she could.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt bad for her, but I still don't want to deal with her for a whole book. Maybe she'll find somebody in the family update, but I don't know. But at some point,
I'm trying to remember the book I told you I was reading after that because I done read two. I done fell down the Kaylyn rabbit hole.
But for the life of me, I couldn't understand. Now, well, Mia, she made it known she didn't like Sophia and Gianni's mother. Everybody pretty much knew how they felt about Kiara. How come neither one of them, Mia or Gianni's mother, ever popped Sophia in her mouth?
I don't think they had the person that Mia was so calm and laid back. Like listen.
They showed themselves towards the end when Kiara popped up, and they were like, "Wait a minute now, no." They showed some kind of ghetto-ness, but when it came to Sophia, they was like, "Okay, she's just running her mouth. Just pop her one good time, and she'll stop."
I don't know. Sophia that drunk aunt, I think that she just probably would have kept going. She in hell and she want everybody to be in hell with her. I don't think. But they didn't have the personality. Mia was super calm, laid back. Like I love my husband and stuff and all this. I'm just here for my man. I ain't really too much in all this other stuff. And Zora, she I don't know what she had going on either.
I think she was like the same. Her baby, her son, her baby.
Yeah, her beloved. So I don't think they had the oomph to be like, you know what, just shut up. They ain't have it either. There was no female balance there to really just be like, okay, enough. We've had enough of you. Because Sophia and then at the end, it was funny. She was like, I was just going to say congratulations, but we didn't know.
She was like, no.
Right.
And it's the part I'm talking about. It's like when she went to say something, they were like, wait a minute now. Y'all could have got her a lot earlier. A lot earlier. She could have used a thump herself.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody should have thumped her or knocked that drink out of her hand or something.
But essentially, he ended up with a woman a lot similar to his mother. Yep. And it's really how those generational curses kind of just trickle down. And it just really hurt me to make that baby his baby. I did not want to do that.
I was like, when she was like, I'm pregnant, I was like, you was not pregnant, girl. Get out of here.
I
was like, she lying.
I had sent my test readers that book without the epilogue, and they're like, I know you're not gonna end it like this. And I'm like, listen, I'm stuck. I'm literally torn, and usually I can just do whatever, but I didn't want to do that to him. It really hurt me. It hurt me. I'm like, the epilogue gonna come, but just give me a minute, y'all, because I don't know.
I wasn't, but overall, I really enjoyed, and I'm saying that we probably can talk a little bit longer, but Kaylyn has let me know that she needs to jump off at 7 o'clock.
A few more minutes.
So we got about 14 more minutes.
With that, let me just say this right quick. We got to talk about Marcel and this reveal.
Yes, please.
Because why you all looking at business? She was sick of it. She had enough at that point. Like, because she had finally got to a place of like accepting her situation with Gianni. Like they were in, and for her, I guess she felt like, I don't want him to look at me differently if he finds out, what I've done. And it's like, I'm happy we coming around, and then here you come. Like, why are you here?
That was so messy.
Yeah.
I was like, you are bored. The galls of you, like the entitlement of you. Like, you know what you did. You know how it went down. And
why you still,
and then the fact that you bold enough to keep coming in my face after you know what I know about you.
Right.
Yeah, and he rocking the gangster though.
He was really acting like a loke. I was like, oh, he loking up. He like, I don't give a fuck about your nigga. And I was like, okay, all right. But then when it came out, I was like, I read that over a few times. I was like, no.
I gotta say this. When they were at the rehearsal and she went in and she was fighting, I noticed that you never
said who
described who she was fighting. And I said, wait a minute. I said, I got to remember this part. So when I got to that reveal, and I went back, I said, I knew she didn't say who it was. Oh, man. I was like, I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't either. Now, you talk about a plot twist, like, wait, and you out here hustling and you, okay.
But then that was the urgency of him to keep his, because I'm thinking, okay, well, people get cheated on every day. Like, how can we got to make this something. Like, so I was like, I'll just put him with a man and see what happens.
Yeah,
but I intentionally left that off because I wanted it to be this bomb. Like,
yeah, it was.
So,
that was more than a plot twist. That was a shift in everything.
Definitely.
It explained again her depression and why she moved the way that she did and why she was so hesitant about moving forward with Gianni. She didn't know this man from Adam. And who's to say that what she went through with Marcel was not going to happen? She didn't know. And I'm like, wow.
Kids.
He is something. He just wants to, he really think he's Kevin Hart, so he's trying to make y'all laugh. That's what yeah, class clown. That's what his report card is gonna say. Yeah. But anywho, yeah, Marcel, he just, and I think in his own weird, twisted way, I think he loved her. But it's just like, sir, this is not even who you are, who you really want to be with. So just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Alone. Like, nah, bruh, no. So before you have to jump off, I was just saying I have fallen down the Kaylyn rabbit hole. And after this, I read Let Me Love You Better. We ain't gonna talk too deep into it, but I love that one too.
Let me add that to my list.
Then I went to the next one, and I said I'm just gonna be all up in Kaylyn's business. So if you haven't read Let Me Love You Better, I'm gonna recommend that you read that.
He was something.
He was. And then when he had the baby, well, I'm giving out spoilers, my bad. The fact that she loved Chipotle, and that's one of my favorite things. I laughed every time because you jump it, and she's like, everything is a bribe. Like, if you give me Chipotle, I'll do what you say.
And it's funny because one of my readers, I got that from, I told her when she started reading, I said, when you catch it, please message me, because she posts about her son all the time. Her son loved Chipotle. So that's where I got the idea from that. So I tell my readers all the time, some of y'all life stories, little tidbits might end up. And she messaged me, and she was so weak. She was like, "Oh my God, Chipotle!" And I'm like, "Yes,
yes." We know Ayana. Ayana loves spoilers. She does. But that one is very good. And then I read. Let me pull up my Kindle. Wait. Then I read, Make You Mine. I just finished Make You Mine. The other day.
Poor. I can't say too. I love Cage though. He just.
Yeah, I did too. And I'm started Fool Me Once, but then I committed to doing something with Tara, reading another book with Tara, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm really want to go back to.
I actually reread that book the other day because they'll be in my little Valentine's Day update, Gennaro and Charlie. So I actually went back to read it to kind of get it. And I was like, oh my God, I love him.
That's good. That's good. Any other questions y'all have before she has to jump off?
No, I just want to say you did an amazing job. The character development, I love the difference in the personalities between everybody. Nobody was the same. Everybody had defining, characteristics. Love that. I already told you. Love the dynamic of the female friendships, because everybody ain't fighting all the time. Everybody ain't messing with everybody, man. Like, it's really sisterhood and like camaraderie within being close to women. So I think you did an amazing job. I'm about to go read Let Me Love You Better, because I'm here for it.
I'm telling you.
Thank you so much. Because listen, when I tell you this book took me, I say I owe my test readers the world, because they were in the trenches with me with this book. Like, it really, but in the end, now looking back, I feel like it challenged me as an author. So I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't like punk out and I stuck it out, because in the end, I'm like, I love what it came to be. But during the moment, I'm like, what is happening here? Like, I've never felt these things. Like, what is going on?
So you have a Valentine's, is it a novella coming out or a full novel?
So it's going to be, and I don't even know if this is a thing, but I made it a thing. It's an anthology styled update. I picked 3 couples, and I'm just going to give them a Valentine's Day update, and it's all going to be in one book. So I don't know if that's a real thing, but I kind of made it one. So
look, in this industry, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's the joy sometimes. So that it'll be Gennaro and Charlie from Fool Me Once, Savon and Brooklyn from Trust My Love and Not Their Lies, and Cage and Riel from Tangled. So those are the 3 lucky, because I wanted to do one for Christmas, but this book didn't get finished like it was supposed to. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give them an update for Valentine's Day, because I didn't get to do Christmas like I originally planned.
And you know what? The great thing about an anthology, you can flip to the story that you have read, then go back and read the other ones before you go back
And read that for the
and
update.
read the other couples. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Seriously, I
So
love that idea.
that'll be Valentine's Day.
Yes. Mo, did you have anything else you wanted to
This was my first time reading your work, and I really really enjoyed it.
Hey.
I enjoyed all of the characters, even the ones I did not like. It was Tyson and Kiara. But, I mean, again, it just goes to show how you presented them to take us in to either hate them or love them. Um, I really, really enjoyed it. And like I said,
I
Mac,
loved him. I
he
loved him
has so
so
much
bad.
wisdom. He has so
Mo
much
couldn't have
wisdom.
spoiler Matt could get it. And I was like, oh my God, here we
I
go.
loved him down. Like
Oh,
he
boy, he was good.
and even toward the end when her baby daddy, like, oh, I want to see her. And he's sitting there like, girl, listen, I don't even want to have this conversation with you.
Right.
Listen,
And
no,
she's like, are you gonna say
he was
something?
like, I want it to be all of us, but if it just got to be me and Cam, then I guess it do. And I was like, girl, he not playing about his baby. That's
At
his
all.
daughter.
Right.
And even what part was it? I think where she was asking him because he just felt so perfect, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Well, I know what's wrong with you." And she kind of like, she's like, "Well, why? Why you want to be with me?" He's like, "It's far worse qualities that you can have. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm patient. It's cool. But 10 years from now, me and Cam will be up out of here. Like, don't
Right.
Yep, I was
you
hot
good right
on that
now,
part.
but." We not gonna do
Yes.
this years later. Like, I'm
Yeah.
okay for now, but get your stuff together.
I loved everything about Mac. I love this too.
Yeah.
When I saw her Lolo Diddy. I did. Mac was just like
Yes.
the man, you know,
I
he
loved
was
him.
just his cool demeanor, hanging out at you at the strip bar at the and they was laughing at me the other day because I said I ain't never been to no strip club. I ain't never been to a strip club. And I wrote a whole strip club scene in my book, and it's like you ain't go. No, I ain't.
I'm an
I
artist.
was on the website doing my
I was
research.
about to say, listen, the internet is your friend. It is your friend.
Look, that's my friend, and word of mouth. Word of mouth. I have heard so many things about this place, so it's like, oh, I know enough that I could throw that together.
Mhm.
Right.
But Mac in the whole strip club, and he chilling at the
Okay.
bar with her. Like that's just
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
He's so unbothered.
so unbothered. Yeah. Last one, and then I'm gonna yes to the hospital
Wow.
scene when he was so good.
He
Yep.
he went on, and even when he got enticing a little bit, and Matt and G was kind of sitting back, they had kind of switched places, and G's kind of like, well, at least it ain't me this time. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna let him get his off.
Yep.
He
So
loves
I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time out on this good Saturday evening to chat with us. I knew I was going to have a spoiler group. We was going to chat somewhere. But you was going to join. We was going to discuss this book because it was really that good. So I appreciate Takora taking the time out because Takora is 3
No
hours.
problem.
You're 3 hours behind us. She's a Cali girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
she's
4
3
here
hours
now.
behind us. I'm from Cali, so when I be talking to my sister, my niece says all the time, when she calls me late in the evening, she be like, in the bed. Heifer, do you know what time it is here? It's 9
When you tell me, you
o'clock.
like it's
It's
3 right now.
9.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 9 here.
It's amazing. You have to, and I think I even asked her, I'm like, which time zone are we go? Because everybody's just everywhere in our community. So you have to make sure you specify or ask because everybody's everywhere. So.
That's probably why Ayana was late because she in Texas and she an hour behind. So she probably was she don't never have me the old time. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate you taking the time.
Anytime.
Join us. Usually it's just me one-on-one, but I was like, I gotta pull some readers in on this one.
Got you.
Thank y'all for having me. I truly appreciate it. Like seriously, because they took me through. So just to get all of the feedback and everybody, it feels really good because I was like, I don't know about this.
No,
in the moment anyway. But
let me tell you something. For you to pull me in, and not that I'm no expert, I don't want nobody to say I'm an expert because let me shut up. I'm no expert, but for you to pull me in and then for me to want to go back through your catalog and all of your books are 400 plus pages,
I'm
but they're
so
like,
excited.
yes, they're page turners.
I try
Yeah.
to
Like,
write what I want to read. I'm a long book. I love series. I love long books. I know now it's popular. Before I was an author, I love series, like long series, because I'm nosy. I want to get to know these people. Like I
yes,
want to,
Yeah.
and character development is I love to read it. So I try to write the things I want to read. And I know, a lot of readers don't like long books. And even my readers, they complain like, here she go, this another 500-page book. I'm like, keep talking, I'll make it 6. And they're like, okay, never mind. But they're just, now they know. And I'm like, y'all don't read it. I'm going to read it anyway, but okay. Because I don't know. I just like long books. I love
I
to
do
get
too.
into the
I do too.
characters. I
And
know.
I pray that I ain't gonna say I pray I get to 500, that I write 500, but I pray that I get, make it a little bit longer, make it a little bit longer. So that is to me, a true skill and talent. I mean, anybody that could write, period,
I was
is
about
a
to
true
say
skill and
short books
talent.
are a talent because I can't do it. I would love to be able to put out a 50, 60K standalone and it feel that ain't my ministry. It's some people can do it and you don't even feel like it's, a shorter book, like, or like you missed anything. So it's
Right,
just, I guess everybody has their thing.
right.
I want to eventually maybe one day learn. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but
Like I said, that's not your ministry. So stick to what
Little
works.
fatties.
Trust me.
yeah,
Trust me.
yeah.
Ain't nobody when you got 500 plus review and ratings, girl, you doing something right.
Listen, I'm floored. Like, and I don't know. I guess because I just see myself as me. Like, I don't, and maybe I should give myself more credit. I guess I don't know. So I was like floored. Like even now, like weeks later, my friends they're checking the chart every day. Like I don't really look at it. I don't really see. I didn't see the banner until somebody sent it to me, and I'm super grateful. But it's just like, little old me. Like everybody love my book. Like,
Yes,
this is
Yes,
here.
yes, yes. And then you get my little tribe behind you. It ain't little, but
I appreciate it. I do. I know everybody say that, but I genuinely, truly appreciate it. Like I've really worked really hard on the things that I haven't always done well. I'm always, like open to feedback to like I'm always trying to be better. And I guess that's a gift and a curse because then you don't enjoy where you are. But I really do work really hard to put a lot of time, effort, research. So to hear those things, like it really does feel really good because I worked so hard. Like I didn't come into this with this big tribe of people. Like the following I have, like I literally built from zero. So it feels really good. I truly appreciate all the support. Like I don't take it for granted at all because I used to pray to even be where I am now, and I ain't even really where I want to be, but I still appreciate it, because y'all don't have to be here, y'all don't have to support, like, but y'all are. So I appreciate it.
no
We
problem.
appreciate you.
And
We
my
Yes.
appreciate
inbox
your
is always
time.
open. I'm super friendly. Y'all can fuss and cuss at me. Because they were. Everybody's like, girl.
Well, that's good. I want to thank everybody that joined us this evening. I gotta upload some stuff onto YouTube. So this will definitely be on YouTube. I will also send you a copy, Kaylin, so
Okay.
that you can share it if you choose to share it. So it'll be posted if anybody missed it. But this was a great conversation. I feel like I feel like I'm gonna get off and be like, oh, we didn't talk about this. Yeah, that's okay.
Looking
That's
down at
okay.
my notes. Like,
Did you cover all your notes, Takora? Did you
yeah, I
cover all?
think I did. Yeah.
I think we talked about it. It was so much.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did.
think we
I was
covered
looking at the other one. Tyson's issues just make so much sense to me.
it. Makes sense to me too.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, it did make sense. It was like
Yeah.
he's a hurt soul, and like you said, he
Yeah.
just wants, and like at the end, where he was like when they gave each other a hug, and he said they would try, they said they would try. It's okay. I hope it works out. I guess.
And I also like that Ross in the end apologized because they are big on family. So it's also too like, why didn't somebody, like step in or help or do
Yes.
more? Like you knew your brother, you know what I mean? And then you
Mhm.
knew Crazo. So it's like, so I did like that moment of accountability and him apologizing and owning, like, if we are gonna be this, like why didn't, somebody step in to do more?
Mhm.
So I did like that moment of accountability, to give Tyson some kind of something, some kind of
Yeah.
relief, like, okay, like somebody sees, like my
Mhm.
stuff and everything that I've went through. So
Right. And I feel like the family will then work towards him and Kiera not having those same issues.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I I love their bond that they had as cousins. They were
Yeah,
cousins, but they were true brothers. And I
yeah,
believe the situation with Lucas is the reason why the brothers decided to make all three of them and not just pick one, so that they would have that accountability and to kind of
mhm.
hold one
And
another
not one
to
person
their
over the
standard.
other.
Right.
Not that Mac, I don't think Mac would have cared, but between Tyson and Gianni, one of the, yeah, that wouldn't have went
Yeah.
over too well.
To
Because
be
they were
able,
a lot alike too. Just Gianni
yeah,
was a little bit more level headed and logical.
and
And
build
that's
on
why
their
they
Right.
strengths.
clashed.
Because together they were, you could not beat them. So being able to rely on their strengths to come together as one would really help the family. And you see the family going in a different direction as far as
Mhm.
when it comes to family.
Yeah.
And it warmed my heart how they just took in Camille and then the other little ones coming along. And it was just like
Yep.
none of that stuff mattered anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I enjoyed your work and I look forward to
Thank
reading
you.
more.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
inviting for the invite. I love
Thank
this.
you.
Thank y'all for having me and everybody who joined and asked questions and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So you all have a great, great evening. Y'all hold on a second. I'm gonna end the broadcast.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, y'all. See
Good
y'all.
night.
Have a good weekend.